Paladin, a heroic figure, celebrated in films, games, and books. A wandering, fearless knight of unwavering character who follows the path of truth, law, and order. A paladin is always ready to protect the weak and champion just causes, known for boundless kindness, steadfast honor, and unbreakable loyalty. Welcome to Eternal Philosophies. Today, the term paladin is used figuratively to describe ardent defenders of righteous causes. But do you know the true origin of the paladin? Were there real paladins? Join us now as we uncover the history behind these legendary champions. We'll begin by exploring the origins of the term paladin, tracing it back to a renowned location in ancient Rome. Then we'll delve into the legendary paladins themselves, the great king they served, Charlemagne, their noble code of conduct, and finally, the story of the most famous paladin of all. What does paladin mean? The word paladin derives from the Latin palatinus, meaning of the palace. In ancient Rome, palatini were imperial guards who served within the palace of the Palatine Hill. The Palatine Hill by itself is living history. It was one of the 7 hills of ancient Rome, located in the very center of the city. According to legend, this was the sacred birthplace of Rome itself, where Romulus founded the Eternal City in 753 BC after killing his brother Remus. To dive deeper into Rome's foundation, watch our Eternal Tales episode. But the Palatine Hill was far more than a mythological site. Rising majestically above the Roman Forum and Circus Maximus, the Palatine offered breathtaking views and served as home to Rome's elite. During the Republican era, wealthy aristocrats like Cicero, Mark Antony, and others built luxurious villas here. Yet it was Emperor Augustus who transformed the hill into the ultimate symbol of imperial power, constructing the Domus Augusti, meaning the House of Augustus, the first true imperial palace. In fact, the word palace itself comes from Palatine, forever binding the hill to imperial grandeur. In essence, the term paladin traces back to the Palatini, the emperor's elite palace guards entrusted with his safety and the enforcement of order within the sacred precincts. Over the centuries, Palatinus transitioned into medieval Romance literature as a title for the king's most honored knights, those closest to power and most loyal in service. From this evolution emerged the paladin as the archetypal champion of chivalric excellence, embodying the warrior's highest ideals: honor, loyalty, justice, courage, truth, protection of the weak, and faith. The original ones, legendary paladins of history. Medieval epics celebrate the original paladins as the elite guard of Emperor Charlemagne, known collectively as the 12 Peers of France. Though dozens of names appear in various chansons de geste, songs of heroic deeds, 3 stand out. Roland, the most famous paladin, was the nephew of Charlemagne and hero of the Song of Roland. Roland is famed for his valor and tragic loyalty. Wielding the indestructible sword Durandal, he perished at Roncesvalles rather than sound his horn too soon, preserving his honor at the cost of his life. Oliver, Roland's closest friend and foil, Oliver embodies temperance and wisdom. In the Chanson de Roland, his counsel balances Roland's fiery courage. Together they model the twin virtues of strength and prudence knightly lore demands. His sword, Haute Claire, is said to be forged from burnished steel and set with a crystal in its gilded hilt. Ogier the Dane was a champion who transcends national boundaries. Ogier's legend grew in later romances. Celebrated for his superhuman strength and longevity, he became a favorite of both French and Danish storytellers, a testament to the paladin's enduring appeal across cultures. Other notable peers like Renaud de Montauban, Huon of Bordeaux, and Baldwin populate the vast tapestry of medieval romance, each reflecting aspects of chivalric duty, piety, and the unbreakable bond between a knight and his sovereign. Charlemagne, the legendary emperor who forged the paladins. If paladins embody the pinnacle of honor and heroism, and first stood as the elite guard of an emperor, then Charlemagne himself must have been a figure of unparalleled greatness, correct? Indeed, Charlemagne, 742 to 814 AD, stands as one of history's most transformative rulers, a warrior king whose vision reshaped an entire continent. Born Charles the Great, He became king of the Franks in 768, king of the Lombards in 774, and was crowned Emperor of the Romans by Pope Leo III on Christmas Day, 800 AD. This coronation marked the first time in over 300 years that Western Europe had an emperor, effectively reviving the Western Roman Empire under Frankish rule. Charlemagne earned the title Father of Europe through his unprecedented unification of Western and Central Europe under a single crown. His vast empire stretched from modern-day France and Germany to northern Italy and parts of Spain, encompassing territories that would form the core of medieval Christendom. Multiple European royal houses traced their lineage back to him well into the 20th century, cementing his role as the founding patriarch of European civilization. Educational and cultural reforms. Beyond conquest, Charlemagne's most enduring legacy lies in the Carolingian Renaissance, a sweeping revival of learning, art, and culture that rescued Europe from intellectual darkness. Recognizing that ignorance threatened both his realm and Christian faith, Charlemagne launched an unprecedented campaign for educational reform. At his magnificent court in Aachen, he assembled Europe's greatest minds: Alcuin of York from England, Peter of Pisa from Italy, Theodulf of Orléans from Spain, and Paul the Deacon, the Italian Benedictine. Together they formed an unofficial palace academy where even Charlemagne himself, despite being largely illiterate, attended lectures and debates. His intellectual curiosity was legendary. He would have scholars read classical texts aloud during meals, transforming dinner into discourse. But Charlemagne's vision extended far beyond his court. His revolutionary capitulary of 787, dubbed the Charter of Modern Thought, mandated that every monastery and cathedral establish schools. Unlike earlier monastic education that served only future clergy, Charlemagne ordered that these institutions teach local children, boys and girls, at no cost. By 797, his advisor Theodulf expanded this further, requiring parish priests to provide basic education in every town and village. The Sainthood Controversy. One of history's most intriguing footnotes involves Charlemagne's contested canonization. In 1165, over 350 years after Charlemagne's death, Emperor Frederick Barbarossa persuaded anti-Pope Pascal III to declare Charlemagne a saint. However, since Pascal III was an illegitimate pope, an anti-pope opposed to the legitimate Pope Alexander III, his acts carried no official weight. The Third Lateran Council in 1179 formally invalidated all of Pascal's pronouncements. Yet local veneration of Charlemagne persisted across Germany, France, and Belgium with the Church's tacit permission. In the 18th century, Pope Benedict XIV confirmed this cultus, making Charlemagne officially blessed rather than saint. The controversy highlights how political motivations often intertwined with religious authority in medieval Europe. Charlemagne's death in 814 marked the end of an era, but his influence echoes through European history. He established the template for the Holy Roman Empire, which lasted until 1806. His synthesis of Roman legal traditions, Christian values, and Germanic customs created the foundation of Western medieval civilization. As both conqueror and cultural patron, he truly earned his place as Europe's founding father, the ruler who transformed a fractured continent into the cradle of Christendom. The Paladin Code of Conduct. A true Paladin's strength springs not just from mastery of arms, but from a rock-solid moral foundation. While no single written Paladin's code survives intact, medieval poets and chroniclers distilled the essence of knightly virtue into 5 core teachings, mandates that defined what a paladin must be and do. These precepts, drawn from the Song of Roland, dating from around the year 1100, guided warriors to serve God, sovereign, and society with equal fervor. Teachings from the Song of Roland. 1. Fear God and keep his church. Paladins regarded unwavering devotion to God as their highest duty. They prayed daily, upheld church teachings, and believed divine favor was essential to triumph in battle. 2. Serve your feudal lord with valor and faith. Loyalty was more than oath. It was a sacred bond. A paladin charged into the fray not for personal glory but to honor his liege, trusting that true courage meant laying down one's life at a lord's command. 3. Protect the weak and defenseless. The helpless, widows, orphans, pilgrims, were under a paladin's special guardianship. Their mission extended beyond war to act as peacekeepers, ensuring justice for those who could not defend themselves. 4. Live in honor and for glory. Reputation was a knight's livelihood. Paladins cultivated honor through noble deeds, rescuing prisoners, negotiating truces, and refusing underhanded tactics, knowing that a spotless name outshone any treasure. 5. Respect the honor of women. Building on the ideals of courtly love, paladins treated women with chivalric courtesy, defending their dignity and safety as an expression of social refinement and moral integrity. Roland, the most famous paladin. Roland, the valiant nephew of Charlemagne, stands as the quintessential paladin, an icon of unquestioning loyalty, unyielding courage, and tragic nobility. Raised at court and steeped in the ideals of chivalry, he led the rearguard during Charlemagne's campaign in Spain. When ambushed at the pass of Roncesvalles, Roland faced overwhelming odds rather than abandon his comrades or sound his horn prematurely. His refusal to summon help until the last breath epitomizes honor above self. His legendary armaments reinforced his near-mythic status. Durandal, said to be unbreakable. Its hilt reputedly housed shards of the True Cross, a tooth of St. Peter, and hair of the Virgin Mary. Roland attempted to destroy it rather than let it fall into enemy hands, striking boulders until his arm gave out. Oliphant. Crafted from elephant ivory, this horn could carry Roland's call clear across the battlefield. Yet he delayed its blast, unwilling to risk his lord's safety for personal glory. When he finally blew it, its sound echoed too late to alter the outcome. Valentif. His famed destrier, swift as the wind and loyal unto death, bore Roland into battle countless times, embodying the inseparable bond between knight and steed. Even in death, Roland's virtues inspired generations. Medieval troubadours composed new lays of his heroism, and his relics were venerated at chapels across France. His story bridges history and legend, reminding all that true heroism demands sacrifice, loyalty, and an unshakable moral compass. From Roman palace guards to Charlemagne's noble peers, the Paladin has transcended history to become the universal symbol of virtuous heroism. Whether on medieval battlefields or in your favorite fantasy game, the Paladin stands as an eternal champion of truth, duty, and the light. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Paladin legend, please leave a like, subscribe for more explorations, and hit the bell to never miss an adventure. Until next time.